All right, Donald Trump's one big, beautiful bill is about to hit a brick wall. And it's not going to be from Democrats, it's going to be from Republicans in the Senate. We are realistically expecting that some version of this bill is going to pass. Republicans control everything, after all. But in its current form, the form in which Republicans in the House of Representatives yesterday were, or this morning rather, were chanting USA, USA, USA for cutting Medicaid and kicking people off of food stamps and tax cuts for the rich, all the stuff that Republicans were cheering for in the House. It is going to hit a brick wall in the Senate, and it's going to have to be changed significantly. They've been cheerleading this Frankenstein of tax cuts and Medicaid slashes and culture war crumbs on Trump's legislative centerpiece now for several weeks. Speaker MAGA Mike Johnson, ever the Trump loyalist, tried jamming it all through in a massive package. Senate Republicans said, we're not going to pass it in this form. But that's exactly what they did. And what they end up sending to the Senate is a bill that nobody really loves because it contains so many things that at least some Republicans are opposed to. You've got your hardline conservatives who are sort of furious that the bill isn't cruel enough, if you can believe that. We had members of the, I mean, you can even see, by the way, within the House, you had members of the House Freedom Caucus saying, we're not cutting enough Medicaid. We're not cutting enough nutritional assistance. The bill is way lighter than it actually is supposed to be. Sort of like, if we could starve the poor a little more, I would like it much more. You've got moderates who don't like this bill because of the huge increase to the salt deduction cap, which disproportionately is something that in the 2017 version of Trump's taxes, it disproportionately hurt blue state liberals who live in blue states with higher or income taxes or higher income taxes. It helps blue state homeowners to raise the salt cap. And there are some Republicans that don't like that. And so you've got aspects of this bill that all sorts of different elements of the Republican Party don't really like. And so MAGA Mike Johnson gets his temporary pseudo victory. But remember that passing something in the House doesn't make it the law. It now has to go through the Senate. And it is extraordinarily unlikely, dare I say impossible, that the Senate is going to go for this thing in anything approximating this form. An interesting aspect to this is that on the one hand, you could say, well, Trump is in control of his party because he was able to jam this thing through. I don't know that that's really accurate because they were able to get it through by one vote by putting completely contradictory things into the bill, things that are good for blue states and bad for blue states, things that are arguably more expansive when it comes to benefits and then also more restrictive when it comes to benefits. It's a completely incoherent bill that got amendment after amendment after amendment appended to the end just to secure votes, but it's just not going to work in the Senate. And that could be a disaster for Donald Trump. I want to kind of think back to in 2017 when Republicans, after so many promises from Trump in 2015, 2016, to replace Obamacare with something beautiful, came up with a plan that would have kicked off 24 million to 32 million people from healthcare over the following decade. And ultimately, Republicans realized in doing Trump's bidding, we would just shoot ourselves in the foot. Our constituents will be furious if we actually do this. And they ended up passing nothing. And remember that we've heard nothing about a healthcare bill since, other than predictions and promises from Trump that it's 2 weeks away. It never has been. This time around, they will probably pass something because Republicans will eventually fall in line. But it's not going to look much at all like what Republicans passed early this morning. And the question then becomes, does Trump still have a grip on Congress? Because this was going to be Trump's grand return to legislative dominance. Look at what we're going to do. And instead, they put something through that has zero chance of passing in the Senate. So Trump's up against a brick wall. Would he rather pass something, even if it's barely resembling what he originally wanted? Or is it better in some way to end up passing nothing at all and blaming a few so-called rhinos. I don't know, but he is up against a real problem. Let me know what you think is going to be the ultimate result here. I've been using Graza olive oil for years, and I am super excited that Graza is now a sponsor of the show. Graza olive oil is always fresh. It's never blended. They use one olive from one region in Spain, no mysterious blends. It's a traceable and fresher product. And the packaging is super practical. None of these messy, drippy spouts. Graza oils come in easy to use squeeze and spray bottles. They've got 3 types, super simple. Frizzle for high smoke point cooking, sizzle for everyday cooking, and drizzle, which is more for garnishes and dressings. I've been using Graza oil in my house for years. I love everything about it, and my audience gets 10% off the trio, which comes with all 3 of the varieties that they offer in a squeezy bottle. So you are all set for every style of cooking. Go to graza.co and use the code PACMAN. The link is in the description.